Welcome back to my channel. I would like to reveal to you the secret player versus enemy Star Citizen server. Come in here to Free Flight and you can pick any map and you can go down to the planet surface and you can play around with your friends in some cases. In this instance, I chose the Good Doctor map, which is, I was looking for the one with water. You'll see why in a moment. But I know that this map has the level from the other Arena Commander mode, or is it not Arena Commander, it's Star Marine. I think it's all mixed together now. But the mode where you do a first-person shooter battle, style thing. At any rate, this is that map. They made it so it's also a, space battle area, but you can come down here to the planet's surface, and that's actually the level. I didn't get out and go into it. It looks like some of it's missing, but it's in there. So just thought you'd find that kind of interesting. Again, go back to Arena Commander if you want to do just PvE. This is the only option you got. There still are no PvE servers. We're going to talk about that. There's a big call for it. I've read all the comments. It's been a very interesting conversation. There's a very serious diehard group of people who simply don't want other folks to, be free of their aggression. It's really interesting. And I mean, I guess I could talk about that a little later. I didn't really want to make this video about all that. But there's a huge call for the PvE environment. And this is all you get right now if you want to experience Star Citizen without the threat of player aggression. So I figured I'd come in here and launch the 890 jump and take it down, look around, admire its beauty. This is one of my favorite ships for a long time since I've had it. In fact, I remember when I first started pledging for this game, I never really thought that I'd have a luxury yacht. This is literally the most expensive ship, like in lore or whatever. It's like a big luxury yacht. It's a huge ship, and the game mechanics to serve this ship doesn't really exist in the game other than like what the players create for themselves and like organization events and community stuff, which is really cool too. But apparently there's going to be transportation missions that you can do where this ship will be useful. At any rate, I love the ship. I've made a couple videos. I noticed they get some interesting, a number of views here and there, hit or miss, where people seem to enjoy the sailing aspect. I remember CIG talking about incorporating water gameplay, sailing ships, that type of stuff. I think they even said something about underwater stuff. I'm sure it's way far down the line, but I mean, look at the beauty. It's really cool. I'm not going to narrate this whole video. I just wanted to expose the Star Citizen community, whoever happens to see this this video, to a little bit more of the beauty. Again, this is a non-threat environment. There are no hostiles. I'm in Arena Commander mode in the Free Flight. The offline mode, I think that you can do the online mode, same version, but have friends join you. I'm not sure if random people can join you. If they can, I think they'd be able to attack you, but I don't know. I haven't done that yet. I haven't tested it. Once again, there's a huge call for the player versus enemy environment, PvE, as opposed to just the PvP PvE environment people seem to have right now. It's like, frankly, my opinion, and again, I've read a lot of comments on it, and it goes both ways. The people whose voices are missing are the ones who were ignoring this project, because there is a huge amount of people who would be playing Star Citizen if it was not a PvP, player versus player threat. There's a lot of gamers out there that just don't want that in their gaming, and that's just fine. It's unfortunate that it seems as though Cloud Imperium Games might have their foot on the throat of the project by basically just ignoring that huge potential. That's a large player base of people who don't. There's a large player base of people who would play this game that don't want the PvP threat. And that's not just opinion, that's from doing a little homework, dropping a couple of videos on my channel. I have a small channel. This is just a hobby for me. I make no money from it, but I love Star Citizen and its potential. I saw, speaking of Salty Mike, I was going to queue up the video and let you guys see it, but I wasn't, you know, didn't think that far ahead when I was making this. I don't plan these. This is all off the cuff. I don't script it. So what I'm getting at is Salty Mike said he likes the crafting and this and that, but when he gets bored of crafting, he'll go out and just pick fights with people who can't defend themselves, who won't defend themselves, and occasionally it gets into a nice chess match battle. Now that whole picking fights, killing people just because you want to, that's what I don't want any part of. I'll respect you up until that. If there's people who want to participate, if it's consensual PvP, then great. You know, if people are okay with being, you know, attacked like that, fine. But there's a lot of people who would play this game who simply do not want to experience unwanted player aggression. It's non-consensual, you know, it's a non-consensual experience in that case. The argument's made, well, that's what Star Citizen is. If you don't like it, go someplace else, play another game. I'm here to tell you that I don't think Cloud Imperium Games, in my opinion, would be smart, or even are under the opinion that they'd want somebody, I'm just going to put myself into it, somebody such as myself, to just go play another game and forget about Star Citizen. I believe they want players of all types in the community, and that's why they've never closed, to my knowledge, the doors on a player versus enemy type of environment or condition or whatever that doesn't exist right now. And that doesn't mean security in Stanton's system, because frankly there's always going to be the threat of PvP, and there's a lot of folks that just don't want that. So my opinion, there really should be two server options. There should be a PvP PvE server option, and there should be a PvE server option, where if you want to do PvP in that game and that server, it has to be fully consensual. I'm talking about bounties that are criminals. You know, say you get a big bad crime stat or whatever. Now you're a bounty, you can get attacked by bounty hunters, or you know, org battles or that type of thing. You know, that's a good way to incorporate PvP in those scenarios. Maybe have Star Wars Galaxies had a isn't this beautiful, by the way? Oh man, I just look at this. I'm just gonna slowly let this play as I talk. I'm probably not gonna talk through the whole thing. But at any rate, they had a Star Wars Galaxies for the PvP thing. They had where you could go overt or covert, meaning either you're, you know, flagged for PvP or you're not. And that's, you know, I'm not saying that's the best way to handle it, but there are options. I don't think CIG would have too difficult of a time incorporating that level of code into the game. I don't know. I'm not a game developer, but again, they're turning their back on a huge section of the community. And the only voices that are really loud right now on the topic are the players who, you know, currently the game is a PvE PvP game. So there's always a threat no matter where you are, unless you're in a armistice zone. If you're in a persistent universe, you run the risk of getting attacked by players, whether it's consensual or not. So, you know, there's always that. And again, that keeps a lot of people away. And I'm not going to babble and all that. You can clearly hear me getting a little froggy, so I got to go get some water. I'm going to turn off the voice record. Appreciate you listening. I'm going to let this play for the rest of the recording. It's really beautiful, and I hope you enjoy. And I really hope we do get PvE servers. And I think that a lot of people who would come, like myself, I'd be playing both. I'd be logging into both. If I felt like being in a PvP server, I'd log into it. Generally speaking, though, I'd probably generally stay in the PvE server. At any rate, it's nice talking to you, and I hope to hear from you in the comments section. Keep it coming.